It's week 2 of GMC Baseball The Quest, and we're getting the story behind the conference's most unique media day ever. All that, and we talk to the guy who gets it going at bat and on the mound for Edison. It's all coming up next. And thank you for finding your way back here for week 2 of GMC Baseball The Quest. We're just 2 days away from the start of Scrimmages on Friday, and we'll be up in Cranford to watch preseason GMC favorite St. Joseph Metuchen battle Cranford, one of the premier public schools in the state of New Jersey. But now it's been called the most unique media day New Jersey high school baseball has ever seen. Here's a look at Monroe High School and its take on the tradition that's becoming of Media Day.
So basically, we saw the college guys posting pictures. And I think it'd be cool if we have our own Media Day, and I haven't seen many high schools with Media Day. So we just got the props, went on Amazon, bought a couple of things where the chains came from, and we just made it happen one weekend.
And it happened at your house.
Yeah, volunteered at my house. I had all the supplies for it, so why not?
The lawn crib.
Oh yeah.
You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know.
I mean, I have a great group of seniors and a really nice manager, and they really wanted to do it as like a team building, like a culture kind of thing. And I didn't really know. They just asked to borrow the uniforms for a day or two. I had no idea what it was going to be. It ended up being a fun activity for them, and I'm excited because we'll be able to put a lot of stuff out on like social media throughout the year.
What was your favorite prop that you guys ended up with?
Definitely the money machine.
The money gun.
That was his birthday gift.
Definitely the money gun. Yeah, I got it for my birthday from my aunt. It came right in time, so.
Chain just went good with it too.
Yeah.
I mean, CJ kind of brought up the idea of having like a couple guys go to their house and take some funny pictures, and then the idea just kept going on, and then we thought it was cool to get the underclassmen to come meet like the older guys, the seniors, and it'd be like, as a freshman, it's pretty cool to like go with the seniors and do like some fun stuff. So we thought it was pretty cool to have them come with us and have like a fun day.
Who doesn't love having pictures with their friends, like all their baseball friends?
That's Bernie. She was just kind of running around, and I was like, we need more funny pictures. And I was like, I might as well just take a picture with the dog. And then it just came out great. The dog looked right at the camera, so I was like, it's a good picture. I gotta post that one.
Don't be fooled by Monroe's Media Day fun. This is a great group of seniors like Captain CJ Wisniewski, who is headed to NJIT next year, a strong junior class, as well as talented 2024s like standout pitcher Harrison Lawlin, should have Monroe in the thick of things in the GMC Red Division.
So yeah, we have Harrison, who tops out at about 87. We're looking for him to be the leading force on the mound this year. We also have CJ Wisniewski, who had an under 2 ERA last year, and like I said, like he really steps into a leadership role, so he takes a lot of pride on the mound, and I'm sure he's going to demand the ball a couple times throughout the year. We have a couple seniors with Weiss, Ian Padula, who are also going to be on the mound. Lucas White, who's a sophomore, who's showing us really good stuff so far in camp and in pitchers and catchers. So we're excited for what we have coming forward on the mound, on the bump.
Culture is big at Monroe as well. These Falcons are a close group, and it runs through the community as a whole.
My favorite part is just being able to have fun. Like when we go to practice, we're serious, but we're still able to have fun with the younger guys, make them like want to be here, make them want to come to practice, be happy when they come to practice, and then also see the serious part of us where we can snap right into it and get into a good practice.
Yeah, and the connections you make with all the players here, it's just great. Even from last year, like I still keep in touch with some of the seniors that graduated last year.
Favorite part I'd say is going out after games and practices. Last year we went out to eat a lot, and I think that's definitely a big thing in high school baseball is the culture. So we went out to eat after games, practices, whatever it is, to just build a good community within the program.
Yeah, I'd have to say the chemistry. Everyone knows each other here. Everyone's coming out to support. There's support from the parents. Everything's good here.
It's like town baseball. Everybody's coming up to the same Monroe program, so everybody gets to play with each other again. So it's great.
I would say I'm excited for the seniors because I know how hard they've worked. We had a team meeting early on in September, and I named CJ Wisniewski my captain, and he's really taken like the ultimate leadership role as far as organizing practices, to the point where like some of the kids have actually like called him coach, like Coach CJ. They've had practices like throughout the year. I trust what their captain's practices are going to be. We've had lifts. We lift 3 days a week. We started that back in September. So I'm just really excited for what the seniors do because of how hard they've worked. And every year I've really tried to build the culture here, and every year I feel like it's getting better and better. So I'm excited for that as well.
I've never had a leader like this one before. He truly picked me up, brought me to my best. It's great to have him.
Literally pick you up,
Literally.
driving everywhere.
We're excited to hit the ground running. We can't wait for April 1st. The kids are excited. Like I said, they've been working really hard. Yesterday we were out on the field. It felt cool because no one was wearing masks, and we were just out there playing baseball, like the game that these kids love. So it was great.
As for Media Day being a new tradition at Monroe, let's just say we don't think it's a one and done deal.
Yeah,
Most likely.
most likely it will be there.
Get some better props next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have some better ideas this first year, so we kind of just like
Yeah, kind
thought
of just went
about
on the fly this year.
it. Yeah.
We just love those pictures there, especially the one with Bernie. Now let's change gears and shine a spotlight on one of the top players in the GMC. It's the guy who gets Edison going at the plate and on the mound. Meet returning all GMC star senior Sal Della Fave, this week's player spotlight. And we are here back on GMC The Quest, week 2, with our player spotlight. We are looking at one of the top players in the GMC and in the GMC White Division. It's Sal Della Fave from Edison High School. Thanks for coming on, Sal. And got to feel pretty good to have a regular preseason for a change. First time in a few years.
Yeah, it's the first time since my freshman year, and it's very nice to be able to have access to our locker room. We didn't have access to it last year due to the pandemic, but having access to the locker room helps us build better team camaraderie and like just to get the full experience of high school baseball that I haven't had since my freshman year, and most guys haven't had yet.
Let's talk some Edison baseball first. You know, obviously some of the names that everybody knows, you know, Jackson Appleman as sophomore is already committed to Coastal Carolina as a pitcher, and Charlie Taub behind the plate. And, you know, you can tell us about how good Charlie is as a catcher since you're one of the top pitchers on the team too. But let's talk about some of the other guys that, you know, Edison is one of the favorites in the White Division, and that can't happen with just a few guys. So let's get us excited for some Edison baseball.
Yeah, so after last year, we had a decent loss of seniors, some pretty good ball players. So this year we're going to see a lot of new faces, but solid baseball players at the same time. Taking up the middle infield, we'll probably see Jackson Appleman and a new guy who's coming up from JV. His name is Jordan Martins. Solid baseball player. He's been working really hard. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. And in our rotation, we have Jackson Ferrer, who pitched for us last year, and he's been working hard in the off season, training over at the baseball warehouse. I know he's going to do some great things this year. And Ryan Tomasula, he's been training at Zone Sports. Awesome ball player. He's a really good pitcher. He's had a huge velo spike in the past year, and I'm actually really excited to see what he can do. And it's going to be great to see when he proves himself to be one of the top guys in our rotation.
Yeah, exciting year for sure. We're here with Sal Della Fave, and one of the top pitchers and hitters in the GMC. First team last year, 7 bombs as a junior. Which one you like more, pitching or hitting?
I'm always going to be favored towards hitting, just because I think that's like what I'm better at mostly. I spend a lot of my time fine-tuning my hitting mechanics over the off season. I took some lessons, making sure everything's right, making sure my mindset's right. And I still work on my pitching, but that kind of takes a backseat to my position playing / hitting.
And that's your primary, or at least at this point, it looks like the primary focus for college. Committed to American International over the summer, late last, at the end of the summer. Tell us about that school up in Springfield, Massachusetts, D2 strong conference. Got to be exciting with college on the horizon. But tell us a little bit about American International.
They play in a really tough conference. As I've seen in the past, they play some really good competition and some stud rotations like Pace, Adelphi, and they're one of those young programs that are still trying to make a name for themselves. Coach Collini is bringing the team in the right direction. I think they're off to a 6-5 or 5-5 start this season. They're still down in Florida playing their last game today. I can tell they're having a good time. I'm seeing all the Instagram posts, everything. So it looks like a good time. It looks like they have a good relationship with each other and just overall good team chemistry. And the campus is beautiful. The school is beautiful. Nice clubhouse, everything, nice facilities. I think it was the perfect fit for me.
Favorite part of Edison baseball?
Favorite part of Edison baseball? I think just my teammates, being around my teammates. It's a great time always. We like to have a good time around each other, high energy at practice, just making it fun for everybody.
Do we like the red turf? Big question.
The red turf, at first, not so much, but it kind of grew on me. I mean, I know there's mixed opinions about it, but I like it. And turf is turf, so I'm not going to complain. It doesn't matter to me what color it is.
I think it kind of stands out, right? I mean, you know where you are when you're playing on the red turf.
It does stand out. I've actually seen videos of people in airplanes flying over, recording out the window, and you can see our field out the window.
Yeah. Pre-game routine. What's one thing that you can't do without?
I'm a big guy. I can't go without like an extensive stretching.
Stretching, yeah.
I gotta have it. If I don't have an extensive stretching routine before the game, it's just my muscles feel tight. It gets a little rough sometimes.
Last year, a pair of 2-homer games last year, but against Barnegat also a complete game pitching at the same time. When you are on the mound, you feel like you got to be in the lineup too. I mean, some guys don't want to mix the two, but you seem to have no problem with that.
I love to be that guy who has the ball and who can make a difference in the game. Since I'm so confident in my hitting abilities, I feel like it doesn't really affect my pitching game at the same time. So I feel like I'm able to do both in the same game effectively.
I never want to give up the bats.
Never.
Favorite major league player?
Major league player. I always loved Walker Buehler just as a pitcher, but from a hitting standpoint, Mookie Betts. I love watching Mookie Betts' game. I kind of model my swing after him a little bit with his high finish. But yeah.
One thing we don't know about Sal Delafave.
I'm into professional wrestling. Like whenever, yeah, strange, right? Whenever I'm
I spent way too much time. Yeah, no, I get that.
like, that's one of the things that I don't really like to admit to people, just because like pe- people assume that it's like for 10-year-olds. But
No.
I still enjoy it, even when when I was a little kid to now. I still watch it if I'm free or if it's on and I have nothing else to look at.
I still think they're crazy athletes for what they can do and the size that they have. It's
Yeah.
like watching professional stunt doubles go after each other.
Yep.
Plus, you got the size for it, right? In your career, what would your what would have you you know are you what would your wrestler name be?
Wrestler. Oh, uh, probably just my own name. I don't know.
Sal the Crusher. You guys have walkout songs at Edison?
I don't believe so, but I think this year we're gonna work in pitcher walkout songs
What
for
what do we know what we're going to use?
Welcome to the Jungle. That's I want to use that song. That's
And
my
you can use it as your wrestler walkout song too someday. Awesome. Well, good luck, Sal. We appreciate the time. Certainly a lot of excitement around Edison this year. And it's going to be a lot of fun getting a full year in at the without having to try to jam it into a few weeks and kind of let the season play out and see how the white division race goes. That's our guest today, our player spotlight, Sal Della Fave, Edison High School senior, headed off to American International next year. We'll be back on this edition of GMC Baseball, the Quest.
GMC teams, we want your highlights. Get us highlight clips from your games during the season, and we'll be happy to use them during our weekly roundups. Send your clips and info to Instagram at NJ_College Baseball Nation.
And we're back here on the show. Anytime you can win Coach of the Year at a conference like the GMC with 32 different schools, it's a great honor. But to do it at the very place you went to high school years earlier, even bigger. Let's meet the 2021 GMC Coach of the Year, Scott Glickenhaus, back at South Plainfield, and he's this week's Coach's Spotlight. Here on Coach's Spotlight, this edition of GMC The Quest, we are here with South Plainfield head coach Scott Glickenhaus, the 2021 Conference Coach of the Year, with his fine work in the first year in his first year at South Plainfield as a coach. We'll get to that later. But Coach, long tenure at Piscataway and at Plainfield, came back to coach where he went to high school and started in the early 1990s. Welcome, Coach. Thanks for taking a few minutes of time with us.
Mike, it's an honor. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, coaching where you went to high school, right? You obviously had put in a number of years, after a great playing career, LIU, finishing up at Widener, getting into coaching after that. But to be able to kind of bring it full circle and come back to and be the head coach at the place where you went to high school, got to be an honor and a thrill and a lot of excitement.
Yeah, to say it's a dream come true. It is. It was a dream come true. It's beyond a dream come true. I never thought I would have the opportunity. Deep down inside, I always held out hope. Maybe one day, I might get a chance if the job ever opened up. And for the opportunity to come when it did, it was just the right time. I had to step back after a couple years of Piscataway because of I knew we were going to have a child, and I just wanted to take a little bit of a breather. I was coaching high school baseball for close to 20 years straight, right out of college, and when I left Piscataway, I just wanted to take a step back, and Coach Guida had an open spot on the staff, and brought me in, and that's when I think it hit me. It was like, wow, I'm back, and it was special. It always felt special coming back, coaching against South Plainfield, Even if they came to my field over in Piscataway. But when I was coaching at Plainfield, and whenever we had a chance to play South Plainfield at South Plainfield, when I was at Piscataway, just walking across the field to get to the yard was always special. I don't have the words to describe it. But it is a special thing, and I'm sure I'm not the only guy who feels that. The other guys who coach other places, when they come back, I'm sure they get that, that same feeling inside. It's special.
Yeah, and it's a great tradition, great history of the program, and I guess you're able to really kind of help the kids understand that it's bigger than them in the kind of immediate future thing. The
Absolutely,
the program's bigger.
Absolutely, it's a fraternity. The years I was away, I kind of lost track of the program. When Coach C was around, I had my own coaching job, and I really couldn't. I couldn't really follow the team as closely as I wanted to. Coach Guida took over, the same thing. But, it's a fraternity, it's a brotherhood. It takes a special someone to, when you lace them up and you play on that field, it's more than, you're putting on that uniform. It means something, and the guys who experience that, I'm sure they all agree with me.
Yep. Now to come in really on short notice, obviously last year,
Yeah.
no semblance. I mean, not even till midwinter,
Right.
and then deal with the condensed 2021. First of all, just glad that we had a 2021 season.
Yeah.
But to have it be so condensed, I mean, do you feel the difference now? I mean, obviously a great year to maybe the playoffs didn't go as you would hope, but to kind of pull it off and even pull off 20 wins and a strong season, does it feel a little bit different this year where it's kind of more like this is a real high school season?
Yeah. Last year was rushed to the degree where, I can't remember the exact number of days we had before that first game, but everything just seemed like it was being like, it was full speed. Like you never really take a breath, not knowing what we had or what kind of team we were going to be, because the kids that were seniors lost their junior year. And then we had 10 seniors come out for the team, a handful of junior sophomores, and to see these guys prepared, come in hungry and prepared the way that they were, it made the job easy for me and the coaching staff. It was almost like don't get in the way. Let these guys do their thing. Put guys in the right position. Keep everybody calm. Because like I said, things were, the pace was quickened a little bit. I think the one thing that benefited us, though, was the fact that when the season started at the back end of March, it coincided with our spring break. So even though it was rushed up to that point, we were able to take our time, and we just got out there. We worked. We dodged the COVID bug. We didn't get shut down like other programs were getting shut down. We had some players tested positive, but it never, we never had that entire program shut down. So it seemed like, the baseball gods were looking down on us, saying, we're going to give these guys a break, cut them a little bit of slack. And it just worked out. It just seemed like whatever buttons we pushed were the right buttons. And I had a great group of kids. All 10 seniors were, all contributed. They were great guys, a good group. They did it right, set the tone for the guys this year. And and that's all you can ask for as a coach. You have a group of guys that the younger guys could look up to. This is how they went about their business. Their work ethic was second to none. And you just hope it translates from one year to the next. And I think that's something about South Plainfield baseball. That's the tradition that keeps getting passed down, that torch, just to hey, this is how we do things here.
So your reward for all that great season is realignment takes place and South Plainfield gets bumped up to the Red Division. New whole list of well, maybe not new for you, but as far as putting the schedule together, new list of rivalries. What's the general feeling about playing, with all the Group 4s and the big boys this year?
Well, it's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. I know the guys, the guys on the squad, they're looking forward to it. They're up for it. We always say, come tournament time, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And why not prepare yourselves for the different tournaments, the county tournament, state tournament, through the course of the season, going up against the best game in, game out. Our division schedule is grueling. I know, going back to my Plainfield days, just, having to play Westfield twice, Scotch Plains twice, Elizabeth twice, Cranford twice, Governor Livingston twice. People don't, there were no easy games through those stretches. You got to bring it game in, game out. And this year it's going to be similar, but I had the same approach when I was at Plainfield. We expect to win regardless of the reality of the situation. You expect to win the second you step foot on the diamond. You prepare for success. You prepare these kids at practice every day for success. Being the coaching staff, I had a great coaching staff. We work these guys. We've been working them since the start, and you just hope that all that preparation that pays off come crunch time. And it's not going to be easy, but again, I think the guys that we have, they're going to be up for the challenge.
Definitely. Coach Scott Glickenhaus, our guest today. Thank you for taking some time with us, Coach. South Plainfield opens up April 1st at Monroe, right? You guys are on the road on the opener. And
you get to travel to the other side of the county.
That's right. Hey, might as well start at the beginning. Get it out of the way early.
Yeah, listen, there's no easy road. In this division, it's every game in, game out. Each one just seems to be getting tougher, because after the Monroe series, we get to open. We play Edison. I think we're their opener. So how about that one?
On the red turf. No, we appreciate the time, Coach, and wish you the best, and can't wait to get out and see you guys this year.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. Scott Glickenhaus, our guest. We'll be back to wrap up this edition of GMC Baseball The Quest. That's all for this time, everyone. We thank you for watching our show. Baseball highlights take precedence next week when we join you on GMC Baseball The Quest. Have a great week, everybody.